Hello everybody, I'm glad you're here today. Today is June 5th, 2025. In this video, we're covering the top headlines of today. Just going to read them to you. You do what you need to with them. We're going to read from my journal that I wrote, let me see, when did I write this? April 27th, 2025. That's fairly recently. I don't think I've read this to you before. I may have, but anyway, I'm going to read this to you. I think you'll find it very interesting. My daughter, Taylor, who has prophetic dreams, had an amazing dream last night. We are in the process of discerning it, interpreting it, praying over it. We are going to bring it to you as soon as we feel at peace about it to communicate it. So please be in prayer with us about that. And then we're going to read out of Acts. The book of Acts, y'all. All right, let's get straight to the headlines for today, y'all. Just put this together. These are wartime headlines. Listen and learn. Do with them what you need to do. All right, June 5th, 2025. In an attempt to protect Americans from dangerous foreign actors. To protect Americans against dangerous foreign actors, Trump orders travel bans to the U.S. from 12 countries. And there's a lot of countries listed. Here are the big ones that we're all familiar with: Afghanistan, Iran, Libya, Somalia, Sudan, and Yemen. There are also partial travel bans for Venezuela, Cuba, and other. So there are other countries involved here. You can Google it and find out if you're interested. There's a lot of African countries, but this is what has happened today. He has absolutely put the ban on those countries coming into the United people, citizens from those countries coming to the United States. There are some exemptions, sporting events, things, sport or athletes, but anyway, mainly it's a pretty big step on. You just can't come here anymore. All right. Next, Russia says they will not hold any new peace negotiations with Ukraine. Shocker. Yeah. North Korea vows. All right, let's start over. North Korea vows unconditional support for Russia's war in Ukraine. The CSIS study shows casualties in the Russian-Ukraine war has reached 1.4 million. What a waste. What a waste. FBI director, and y'all, I don't know how to pronounce his last name, so cut me some slack here. FBI director Dan Bongino is warning of a massive drone threat to the USA on Fox News. So he was on Fox News and warned of a massive drone threat to the USA. Okay. A cache of heavy weapons, including anti-aircraft systems, has been found in the village of Laszki in southern Poland. I'm not sure the repercussions of that. I think it speaks volumes just by itself. Y'all simmer with that and chew on that and do what you need to with that one. But I did find that one interesting. Reports that Ukraine has hacked the Tupolev Tupolev aircraft manufacturer in Russia, and has stolen 4.4 gigabytes of internal data. So there are reports that Ukraine has hacked the Tupolev aircraft manufacturer in Russia and has stolen 4.4 gigabytes of internal data. Once again, I'm going to try not to elaborate on these headlines, y'all. So I'm just going to try to zip it. But file that one away. Okay, according to the Kremlin, Putin did indeed tell Trump that Russia would respond to the attack on the airfields. Russian Federation will respond to the attack on airfields when and in the way that the military deems. I don't know what all that phone call was. If I could have been a fly on the wall, I would have loved that probably. But I think whatever went down there, it sounds like Russia was like, hey, mind your own business. I wonder if that's how they work. Anyway, next, China helps Russia pull ahead in lethal drone war race with Ukraine. That's according to Politico. China helps Russia pull ahead in lethal drone war race with Ukraine. The UK Defense Secretary John Healey announced that the government will invest billions of pounds to move the UK to, quote, war-fighting readiness in the face of a, quote, new era of threat from nuclear powers like Russia and China. That's according to the BBC. I'll read that one again just so you can let that soak in. The UK Defense Secretary John Healey announced that the government will invest billions of pounds to move the UK to war-fighting readiness in the face of a new era of threats from nuclear powers like Russia and China. So those are the headlines that resonated with me based on what I didn't do a lot. I'm getting those headlines from Duramax News, World News. And let me say that again, y'all. I can speak today. I really can. Duramax World News, NY Prepper, and Prepper News. So those are where I'm getting those headlines. Those are the people you need. Those are the experts you need to be listening to, not me. I'm just bringing you the headlines. You need to do with those what you want to do with those. To me, it all is saying we are at war. We are in a wartime culture right now. And I believe you will not hear these type of headlines in mainstream media. That is my perception. Now, I may be wrong as rain because I don't sit and listen to Fox News all day, every day. My parents do a lot, and when I'm over there, I hear it, and I don't hear them talking about stuff like this. So, clearly, a lot of things are going on in the world. A lot of things are going on in the nation. I am curious and most focused on war readiness, mainly because that's how the Lord has led me to prepare my property and my family. So that's where I'm at with that. Now then, I want to read to you what I wrote in my journal. So as I was worshiping, y'all know I worship every morning. As I was worshiping, sometimes, not every day, but this particular day, I felt like the Lord was talking to me about some things. And this is what I wrote down. April 27th, 2025. If I've read this before, please, you just get to hear it again. There you go. So April 27th, 2025, here's what I wrote. Daughter, write this down, for the future is what I am about to show you. Land upon land, twist and turn against the tide of my salvation. My waves of love never reach the shore, for evil nations halt the flow of my mightiness, ignoring my divine significance. Who are you but ants, I say to the nations on earth? Who are you to look me, creator of all, and say, look at me, creator of all, and say, I know you not. I do what I want to do, for you are slow in your promises. I put my faith in my own power. Do not be fooled, my beloved children. Your nation is not your salvation. In the coming days, cooler heads will not prevail. Instead, hot heads, hate, trigger fingers, and knee-jerk reactions will rule this earth. The war of nations gathers strength, securing the footing of the evil one. Do not be fooled, my lambs. Look to me. Are you ready for the blood to drip from the hands of your leaders? You, my children, must stay in me. Joy comes in the morning. The sun will rise, lighting the darkest darkness of war. You need not fear, but rest patiently, quietly in the love, as in my love, as your life freedom is with me, freely given without limit. Come into my shadows, dwell with me, for the coming days are meant to shatter the hearts and minds of man. Okay, you do with that what you need to do with that. Ask the Holy Spirit to lead you. Uh, I believe, for me, there is personal guidance in that, mainly because of what I asked the Lord and what I am seeking from Him, and asking Him, like, Father, I kind of feel like I don't need to know every tit and tattle of what's coming and what's happening. And, I have faith that the Lord's going to take care of me no matter what. I do believe that. I also believe that He warns His people. I believe that. And I believe that for whatever reason, I do not know, but the Lord gives our family dreams and visions and words. And all we do, look, I live in a little bitty nothingville of a place. I live in the panhandle of Texas. Today, y'all, I'm preparing for major tornadoes this afternoon. That's where I'm at. That's where my brain is today, actually. I'm getting on here making this video because I think you need to hear the headlines, and I find them fascinating also. I think they speak volumes of what's really happening in the world. But the truth is, today, the threat is not war where I am at. The threat that I know of, the threat is tornadoes and power outages. We had a power outage in the middle of the night in our county already. So that's what I'm working on today. That's what I'm getting ready for. I'm making a big pot of stew. I'm getting supper out of the way. I don't know if I'll have electricity. I'm not saying the likelihood of our house getting hit by a tornado or our town is like very small. It could happen. It has happened before, in fact. But the likelihood of our electricity being interfered with is a greater risk. So I just try to make life easy on everybody and get the stuff out of the way that I need to get out of the way. Laundry, the dryer, all the other things you might, look at. If you're in this situation and disaster might be coming your way in the next 6 hours, just batten down the hatches a little bit. That's all I'm doing. That's all I'm saying I'm doing today. So I'm fixing to go get bottles of water to put in our bathroom so that we can, if we have to go in there for shelter, that we'll at least have water, right? So that's what I'm doing today. But I did want to come to you and just say, when you take a step back from our daily issues and look at the world, I believe our Father kind of wants to, I think He wants to show us what's coming on the horizon. And He gives some people those messages. I don't know why some people get it and other people don't. I don't know. I don't know why my daughter woke up this morning and said, Mom, I had a dream. And it freaked me out. And when she told it to me, y'all, I'm not going to lie, it freaked me out too. So pray about all of that. I'm very eager to bring it to you. It has to do with nuclear attack. It has to do with nuclear bombs. So that's just giving you a little heads up there. But that's what's coming to the channel. It's coming to this channel here, and hopefully, and she's fixing to be out of pocket for a little bit, so I don't know when exactly I'll be able to bring it to you. Hopefully next week. I'm praying and hoping I can. So those are things going on. I do feel like the intensity is once again like we're in an increased labor pain. There are seasons, there are cycles of news. We're in the middle of an intense cycle right now, and I do believe it'll ebb off. I really do, because that's kind of what it's been doing the last couple of years. So right now, it would be prudent to pay attention. That's how I feel. Now, our God is a mighty God, right? And so I love the book of Acts, y'all. I just love the book of Acts. And so I read it often. It's one of my favorites. I love these people, my brothers and sisters, who were the first ones to pave the way for the church to be established. And the apostles doing their thing, I'm just like, wow, y'all are like the rock stars. When I see you in heaven, I'm like, can I have your autograph? That's kind of how I feel. Anyway, so we're going to start. I love this story because it's like God is mighty. Our God is a mighty God. So Acts chapter 12, what has happened? A little bit of backstory. The apostle James has just been murdered by King Herod Agrippa. And he, I'm sure that was like a shockwave went through the church. And I think it was difficult. Peter was arrested. You know, the king saw how great a response he got, so he got and arrested Peter, who I'm sure, you know, James and Peter probably knew each other all their lives. They were friends, and they were co-warriors in the cause for Christ. I imagine Peter was just pretty gutted by all of this. So Peter was arrested. His trial was going to be the next day. And so this is where we're at. So the night before Peter was to be placed on trial, this is Acts chapter 12, verse 6. The night before Peter was to be placed on trial, he was fast asleep, fastened with two chains between two soldiers. Others stood guard at the prison gate. Suddenly, there was a bright light in the cell, and an angel of the Lord stood before Peter. The angel struck him. I love that. The angel struck him on the side to awaken him and said, "Quick, quick, get up." And the chains fell off his wrists. Then the angel told him, "Get dressed and put on your sandals." And he did. "Now put on your coat and follow me," the angel ordered. So Peter left the cell following the angel. But all the time he thought it was a vision. He's like, this is a vision. This is a dream. He didn't realize it was actually happening. They passed the first and second guard post and came to the iron gate leading to the city, and this opened for them all by itself. So they passed through and started walking down the street, and then the angel suddenly left him. Peter finally came to his senses. "It's really true," he said. "The Lord has sent his angel and saved me from Herod and from the Jewish leaders, and what the Jewish leaders had planned to do to me," which wasn't going to be pleasant. When he realized this, he went to the home of Mary, the mother of John Mark. Are there just a ton of Marys in the Bible? There really are. Okay, so there's one of the Marys. Apparently everyone in the village was named Mary. Mary, the mother of John Mark, where many were gathered for prayer. He knocked at the door in the gate, and a servant girl named Rhoda came to open it. When she recognized Peter's voice, she was so overjoyed that instead of opening the door, she ran back inside and told everybody, "Peter is standing at the door." I'd probably do the same thing. Rhoda, girl, we are kindred spirits. I can feel that right there. Okay. "You're out of your mind," they said. When she insisted, they decided it must be his angel. I think that sentence says a lot, but I don't really want to take a deep dive into that. Anyway, it must be his angel. Meanwhile, Peter continued knocking. Don't blame the guy. When they finally opened the door and saw him, they were amazed. He motioned for them to be quiet down, and told them how the Lord had led him out of prison. "Tell James and the other brothers what happened," he said. And I'm thinking that's James, the brother of Jesus. And then he went to another place. At dawn, there was a great commotion among the soldiers about what had happened to Peter. I think that's hilarious. Herod Agrippa ordered a thorough search for him. When he couldn't be found, Herod interrogated the guards and sentenced them to death. Off with his hair. You know, I don't know. I just see a Marie Antoinette here kind of thing. So let them eat cake or whatever. Herod interrogated the guards and sentenced them to death. Afterwards, Herod left Judea to stay in Caesarea for a while. So if our God can rescue Peter, like as miraculously as that, then the Lord can rescue us in all kinds of ways. I love that story because it shows the humanness of Peter, I think, and it also shows the mightiness of God and the humanness of the church. And the church was all gathered praying. Y'all, that's the kind of people we need to be. We need to, I believe there may be a time coming where nothing, I believe a time is coming where nothing will keep you from gathering with the saints to worship. You would put your life in jeopardy to go do that. That's what I think might be coming. A time is coming. Even if it's not like that now, outwardly, Inwardly, that's what our attitude needs to be. Nothing's going to keep me from worshiping God. And no one can take that from me. No one can take my belief from me. And that's the beautiful thing about believing in Jesus, is the protection he gives us, the peace he gives us, the promises he's made to us that are true and real. If you don't believe in him, if you don't believe in him, now is the time, because you just never know. I mean, let me tell you, I'm looking at tornadoes coming this afternoon, y'all. You just never know what's coming. So you need to prepare, not only physically, of course, in this world, but more importantly, your soul, spiritually. What's going to happen to you the second after you die? Because you can't change your mind after that. Your fate is sealed. So you do what you need to do with that, gang. All right. I'll leave that with you. Stay safe, America. From the pantry, this is Gina Lima Charlie. I'm out.